since 1882 as a steal attempt is on. And right on the money, what a throw by the catcher, Scott Kettler. Helgoff is gunned.
1-2, excuse me.
Chance for a double play ball here. Bonwell with the tag, throws it to first. McDuffie with the stretch, 2 out with the 4-3 double play. Danielson delivers, it's a low one, but it's hit into center field for a base hit. Studer's going to third. They're waving Studer home. Play at the plate, Helgoff gets the catch, punches him out.
And a huge call as David City Helgoff getting the tag.
What a throw from Reimers in left field, and what a tag by Helgoff. Welcome back to Columbus, Nebraska, Pawnee Park Field here. As the temperature's dropping slowly but surely, maybe a degree or two. First game of a doubleheader between the Columbus Senior Blues, Cornerstone Insurance, and the Grand Island Home Federal Seniors. As the Bats need to heat up for Columbus if they want to win. They haven't been able to score yet, and so far it's been 3 up, 3 down in the first 3 innings, as you see it right there. Gavin Gregg dominating on the mound thus far.
Yeah, Columbus has been able to get out of some pinches defensively, only letting 4 runs go to this point, but GI Federal has definitely put themselves in good position to get some additional runs in. Columbus needs to find some of that offensive power themselves, and some of those kids finding that offensive power will be those kids that playing free out at Vanberg Golf Course.
15 and under, golf for free at Vanberg with an adult paid tee time. Start them out early and get them out there. Golf, as we all know, is a lifetime sport that you can play well after your legs don't work so well playing football, basketball, or all those other more athletic sports. As fly out to center field for out number 1 for Columbus.
And Vanberg, a great place to go play, especially if you're just starting, or even if you just want to go out and play around a 9 or even 18. You can play it twice, get a little extra practice, but the 9-hole course out here on the southwestern side of Columbus, definitely a fun one to play, and definitely a great one to kind of learn the sport at. So great place to bring the kids.
So you have Wrinkle flying out to center field for out number 1. That brings up Cade Hansen, who struck out in the first inning. He puts this one in play. Chopper to third base. And this time easily handled once more by Grand Island. You saw the rope by Valverde, throwing it across to Kurlikowski.
So Gregg making it look easy, and we are here in the top of the 4th inning. So as far as run rule situations, I guess if we want to discuss those, we got to get through that 5th inning, and it's got to be an 8-run lead for Grand Island. So they're definitely going to need to pick up the pace a little bit if they were looking at maybe trying to run rule Columbus, but Columbus could definitely come back into this thing. Only 4 runs down, but Gregg's not going to make that thing easy. Putnam!
That is the first hit for the Senior Blues as Miles Putnam goes over the second baseman. And some life shown by the Columbus Cornerstone Seniors.
And that's where you got to start, just get the bat on the ball and open things up. Again, Grand Island's been looking great already here throughout 3 innings, especially offensively. They've shown some great strength at the bat. Columbus High has really been struggling until that hit by Putnam.
Zach McDuffie to the plate, a cutting strike from the first pitch. Low for ball 1.
So McDuffie 1-1 again. A strong bat, and he actually does a pretty good job at getting those singles. But we'll see if he can hold out 1-2 the count. And so far, when Gregg's been in this position, he's capitalized.
McDuffie gets a piece of it, stays 1-2. 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. And Blue standing firm. Catcher Lamb thought it was strike number 3, but not today.
The whole team started running off the field there for a second before they got about 2 steps in and realized the top of the inning's not quite over yet.
And still no strike, so a full count. McDuffie showing some discipline.
Yes, fighting his way back to a full count.
And he had Putnam running, and this time he gets McDuffie on the swinging strike for out number 3. So positive signs for Columbus. They got their first hit of the game, but still no score. 4-0. Grand Island on top as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Legion Baseball here on News Channel Nebraska. Brandon Aksamit alongside Grant Otten here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Grand Island on top 4-0. Looking to add to that lead here. Up to the bat for the Grand Island Home Federal Seniors, Christian Valverde. And then back to the top of the lineup for Casey Burnham and Parker Upton.
And they have been rolling smooth right now, and here's a shot to the short side of right field, but that's caught for the first out there. It'll be a good start for Columbus as they got a little bit of ways to go here to get back into this one.
Cade Hansen making the catch from right field. We're back to the top of the lineup once more, where all the damage has been coming. Casey Burnham as well as Parker Upton, the dynamic duo hitting 1-2 right now for Grand Island. Ball 1 outside. We saw Burnham in the last inning on a triple steal. He slid into home plate. Allstat put him out. That was after he got walked and hit a triple in the first inning.
Sacrifice play there, at least trying to catch Allstat off guard on one of the other bases, and he stayed firm and got the out at home. Just like your coach, not that you run into that situation very often, but in some scenario coaching you might discuss a play like that. And more now, you probably think of a situation where a guy got a guy on first and a guy on third, and then that guy on first steals second to try and draw that catcher to throw out, and then that guy from third steals home. But with all those bases on, not something you see very often, but Allstat did a nice job handling it.
So 2-2 to Burnham. Pops this one up. Putnam's under it at the shortstop. And that is out number 2.
So Columbus here responding well here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They definitely need one more out here. You don't want to go down any more than you have to, but GI, don't be surprised if they find a way to get somebody on base or get somebody home the way they've been playing so far this afternoon.
Well, brings Parker Upton to the plate. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBI singles in the first and third. Make that 3 for 3 as Upton gets his 3rd hit and another single.
And he almost looked like Putnam maybe just pulled his glove up a hair early there. He was really close. Now, he may not have been able to reach that thing, but some kind of pulls his glove up thinking maybe he had timed it right, but it looked like that ball just barely went underneath it. Now, it would have been tough for him to turn that thing for an out. Just in kind of perspective, if he would have been able to catch that thing. It was pretty close.
Brings Matthew Lamb to the plate. He reached by way of walk in the 3rd inning. Did end up coming around to score. Swinging strike, first pitch.
A nice one there to get things rolling for Columbus. But again, Grand Island getting a guy on base. And so far, that's all they need to do. They get a guy on base, and then somehow they find a way to score. Through 4 innings, their bats have been pretty strong.
And there's a steal attempt by Upton, and on the pass ball, there will be no throw.
So now you got a guy in scoring position, so if anything, you're not sitting too bad. You can keep up the pace with getting at least one guy in an inning.
It's the 2nd stolen base by Upton on the day. And that is going to drop in for a base hit, and because of that stolen base, Upton will easily come around for the score. double for Krolikowski.
Upton, a very speedy kid. Lamb was able to turn that one deep.
So they continue, Grant. Every inning, they have plated a run here in the first 4.
And with Lamb in scoring position there on second, and Krolikowski here at bat, there's definitely a chance for them to get one more in.
Krolikowski, like Upton, had an RBI single in that 3rd inning. 1 for 2 on the day. Make that 2 for 3 as he hits a liner right up the middle. They're sending the runner to the home plate. And throw does not get there, so Lamb, after a double, comes around. And Krolikowski gets his 2nd RBI single of the day.
So they'll go up 6-0 here, and they just need 2 more runs in another inning before they could run rule Columbus. But Krolikowski with a great shot there over the top. Not the fastest guy, but as long as you got a consistent bat and are able to get on base, that's all you can ask for.
And another visit to the mound as Augustine struggling a little bit here in the 4th. We'll take a quick break on News Channel Nebraska and be back shortly.